policy, whose overall objective is to provide a governance framework for the acquisition, use, and disposal of ICT in the judiciary. Key objectives of the policy include ensuring that the security of our data and the information is guaranteed. Indeed, even as we launch this initiative today, one of the most recurrent questions is whether the integrity of the materials filed and stored electronically will be maintained at all times. This has featured. You will recall Mr. Harvey and your team, especially the chair, the Nairobi chapter of the Nairobi branch of the Law Society. We have had meetings on this, and you have actually raised this issue because it's a great, an issue of great concern. I want to assure you that the integrity of the court record will be ensured. Besides the routine security protocols like redundant systems, strong access controls, and encryption, we have implemented specific security measures that reflect global best practices in the data security. Of course, it will be fully hardy for me to enumerate those measures here for obvious reasons, but rest assured that security has been taken care of, and we will have no problem at all. We cannot expect an undertaking of this magnitude to be implemented without any hiccups, either in the performance of the technology or the ability of the people to use it properly. Besides, it is consistent with human nature to be apprehensive about change, sometimes even to the extent of resisting it, only to embrace it later enthusiastically and continue. You know, this plan of technology has been around. When it started, quite a number of us judges, especially the old fogies, had a few problems. I remember one of my colleagues, whom I will not mention, you ask him for his email address and he tells you it is confidential. Of course, he passes the message very clearly that he doesn't know what you're talking about. So there is that fear of the unknown and not appearing. And you know, judges and lawyers, we are known as learned people. So to be seen to be ignorant in some of these issues, you don't want to show to the rest of the public that you are ignorant in this. But I want to say this. Let us not be bothered about that. We were not trained as ICT, ICT professionals. We are trained as lawyers. The ICT people, Mr. Chiang here, if you ask him a few questions on law, he will be at sea. So why should we be worried if you just say, look, I don't know how to do this, I want assistance. Let us get that out of us and be able to move on. What I would like to assure you today, ladies and gentlemen, is that we shall strive to address all challenges that emerge as we implement the system, and to assist all our stakeholders to adapt to the new requirements as soon as possible and smoothly move on. Towards this end, we have undertaken extensive training, not only for the judiciary staff, but also external stakeholders. As I said earlier, this system will not serve the highest ideals of just delivery if it is only convenient to a section of the court users. We have therefore initiated various programs aimed at ensuring that ordinary wananchi seeking court services, especially those who may not be familiar with the ICT infrastructure and the court procedures, to be assisted in our court stations. This includes the establishment of the ICT support centers within our stations, where court users, especially the severely indigent, who may not afford the fees charged at the cyber cafes, to come to court and be assisted. On the other hand, cyber cafes which meet our stringent standards will be accredited and their staff trained so that they may assist court users who do not have ICT facilities in their places of work. In further pursuit of inclusivity, we plan to quickly roll out this service to other parts of the country, beginning with Mombasa and Kisumu. As you know, we have a little problem in Mombasa because quite a number of our staff tested positive to the pandemic. As a result, the court operations in Mombasa have literally ground to a halt. I was speaking with the lawyers from Mombasa and the presiding judge of the Mombasa station. They are saying, look, in Nairobi you can operate. Please, why don't you even start that e-filing system in Mombasa? But I told him that, look, the way we have planned things, the way we have, the ICT people have done it, it is not possible to do it immediately. But that is one other thing, Mr. Ickling, you are going to have to do. Move very fast and get Mombasa connected so that they are able to move on. And then we will move on to the other parts. This will start as soon as we have sufficient storage capacity for the heavy data generated in the new system. To this end, we are at an advanced stage in procuring necessary servers and storage capacity to ensure that we achieve this objective as soon as possible. But in any case, not later than 3 months from now. I want to say here that the CRJ has shown me the budget we have for this financial year. We have already started, and one of the major programs we have is the establishment of the data center. The establishment of the data center, buying the servers so that we can assure everybody that we have enough storage. I trust that the amount we have been given will not be slashed, because if it is, we will just, we will grind to a halt. To ensure that the increased use of ICT is fully anchored in law, we have undertaken various initiatives aimed at aligning the new processes to relevant legislations. We have finalized the development of the practice direction, revised the rules, and proposed amendment to the Civil Procedure Act and the Evidence Act, as well as the Criminal Procedure Act, to align the ICT environment and facilitate the widespread adoption of technology. In this regard, we are doing all our very best, and I'm happy to see Justice Musinga here, the chair of the Rules Committee. We are there, and there will be no problem at all. The proposed changes are already being reviewed by our stakeholders, including the Law Society and the general public, and we expect to receive a feedback as soon so that we can be able to complete the process. The court digitization journey has, since the onset, benefited from generous funding from many of our supporters, and I wish to sincerely thank all of them. I would like to single out the International Development Law Organization for their support and the e-filing initiative from the start, as well as the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, GIZ, the World Bank, through Judicial Performance Improvement Project, and the Government of Kenya for the support we have received so far. In this regard, I want once again to sincerely thank His Excellency Ambassador Francis McCain. I requested that he be given a minute to say something because of the contribution he has made to this project. He has availed funds, and we are very, very grateful. As you go back, Your Excellency, please go with our gratitude that the people of Kenya appreciate the support we have received from your country. I have already talked about the Ministry of ICT, the support they have given us, and we trust that they will continue to support us. They have undertaken that, and I have no doubt whatsoever, and they will assist us, and we'll move on. JSC has been wonderful. The support you have given us, the JSC members, we are grateful, and we will continue to be grateful. I want to single out one or two other people who have worked very, very hard. Jessica Tembu, Cairo, the chair of the Integrated Court Management System Committee, and the entire membership of the committee, and his predecessor, Justice Mwongo. Did I see him here? He may not be here. As well as Justice Souko and Waki, who have already mentioned in the work they have done in the past to assist in this process. The ICT Directorate, led by the acting director, Mr. Stephen Eckling, and many other stakeholders who have worked and continue to work hard for the good work they have done. DCJ was telling you that I have pushed them very hard, especially in the last 1 month. I want to sincerely thank you, Eckling, and your team. Karanja and the others, where are you? Please stand up once again. I want to thank you most sincerely for the good work you have done. You know, as you have heard, I'm getting old, so my day starts at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I push these people by 8 o'clock if they are not able to connect, and we have a meeting. I can't understand how they can be late at 8 o'clock when I've been up for almost 6 hours. So thank you very much for the good work you have done, and bear with me for the push I have had to throw your way, but you have taken it with stride, and I'm very, very grateful. As Jessica Tembu said, the LSK, ODPP, and the prison department, as well as the probation and all other stakeholders, have been very, very supportive and have supported us. I want to mention here that Mr. Harvey, the president, I received yesterday a letter from the chair of the branch chairs, a message of goodwill and saying that they are going to support us, and we move on. And I'm very, very, very grateful. What I want to say, Mr. Harvey, and with all humility and understanding, the problem we have now, especially with the virtual courts, is because of poor connectivity, internet connectivity. You find one litigant at one end of the country with poor internet connectivity is unable to be heard. Or when he starts, he's breaking, and the proceedings can't go on. That's why, as you said, you take so many minutes asking, my Lord, can you hear me? My Lord, can you see me? It is not entirely the problem with the court system. It may be very well, and I want to say this with humility, not trying to demean anybody. It may be very well the problem with internet connectivity from your offices. Going forward, as we have said, we have no choice. We can't go back. Ask your members to try their best and get stable internet connectivity. And in that regard, Mr. Ching, even when when we are paid, especially in the countryside, admittedly internet connectivity is poor. let the ministry do something about that so that we can move forward. In this time and age, one of the things we should have as a country is internet connectivity, which is stable to enable us to transact the business we have. We are all connecting to this, and we cannot afford to be left behind as a country.